the expertise that y'all bring to the table that I don't have.
That's what this podcast is all about, man. That's what it's all about.
Welcome to another episode of Socially Anime, your one-stop shop for insightful, unfiltered anime analysis and commentary. My name is Kuma. Today we will discuss Vinland Saga Season 1, Episode 2. This episode is called Sword. Move on to the next part. So after this pretty much massacre of the Viking base in northern England, we move over back. Now we're in Iceland. We're in the village of Thor's, his family, etc. Everybody, Leif Erikson as well. And we start out with kids that are play fighting. Onyx, man, how did that scene go for you? Did you get anything from that?
Oh, that was hilarious. Like the acting on these kids play fighting was top notch, man. Like, especially at the end when the kid's like, man, I'm always first one to die because I just want to go to Valhalla and eat. Kids are kids, even today. Yeah. Like growing up on a military basis most of my life, I can tell you that I always had stick wars and play fighting and play wars. Not to a point where I'm bruising someone's face and breaking some bones, but
okay, what about you, man?
It's the kids having fun, and it does reflect the culture as well, because there was a mix of boys and girls that were play fighting in their scene too. So there was one girl in there, so it just reflects the culture that you're in, really. And it seems like the worldwide culture is, fighting and all that stuff. It's fun. And within their culture, it goes even a step further because you get to go to heaven if you're a legit warrior. So
Valhalla.
Yeah, right. You get to go to heaven, Valhalla, if you're a legit warrior. So it's a step further for these kids because of their culture. Yeah.
Now we have the next scene where we have basically, now we're back inside the home of Thor's and Helga with their daughter and their son. And now Thorfinn is upset. He's angry. He just came back from the stick fighting and he's got an attitude. Tell me about this part between Thorfinn and Thor's and what he found and where it went from there.
Yeah. So, the kid, he's pissed and he's looking for a real weapon. He's like, I'm done playing with these kids. I'm done playing with all these other kids. So he's looking for the weapon. His sister finds him and she's like, what are you doing, man? And he ends up finding like a legit super sharp sword, as we saw, which harkens back to the name of this episode, the sword. So it's also, I feel like the name of this episode, the sword, is the sword that Thorfinn finds, the sword or the life of the sword that Thor's can't escape from. Yeah. So I feel like the name of this episode, it can go so many different ways. But he finds the sword and then his dad sees him with the sword. And dude, I mean, he's great. He's like, hey man, like, dude, you don't have any enemies. Like, who are you gonna kill with this sword?
Like, let me help you out. Let me quote it for you. Pick it back up. He literally says to him, hey, a sword is a tool for killing people. Who are you planning to kill with this? Thorfinn says, the enemy. And Thor's replies, you have no enemy. No one has enemies.
My very first reaction to all that was love at first sight, right? When Thorfinn saw the weapon and armor. Yeah. It kind of like love at first sight. And it kind of reminded me to a personal experience where growing up as a military brat, I was never allowed to go into my parents' closet and into the gun safe.
Yep.
And, as a little kid, I wanted to look for it and get a little sneak peek. And I look for it and I find it and I see the gun and it's cool, but I'm a little bit scared to touch it, to move it, to do anything with it, right? And I didn't see any of that fear. Like Thorfinn straight up just picked that up and he was ready to just...
Something? He said, this is beautiful or something.
Yeah, he was ready to just keep it forever and go on about his warrior life, man. Yeah. And it was an awesome dad moment, right?
Yes.
Sees it and doesn't yell at him. He grabs a sword so hard it pierces his own skin.
Yes.
And he just calmly tells Thor's, like, why do you want a weapon that's, meant as a tool to kill someone? And then he said, who are you going to kill? Because, the sword is a tool for killing people. And then, you know, he goes back in saying, you have no enemies, no one has enemies. I think Thorfinn is too young to grasp that concept. So, you know, he ends up, you know, doing what little kids would do, just get angry and run off.
I think Thorfinn is kind of doing everything according to the plan. Like you almost can't blame him for loving the sword, picking it up and everything like that. And then the last part for me, like you said, it was kind of like a parenting father-son moment. But the best part about it is that Thorfinn kind of calls his own father right at the end. He says to him, basically Thor's is trying to tell his son, Thorfinn, it's not okay to kill people, you know? And he's like, wait a second. I know that you're leaving to do that exact thing. I know tomorrow you're leaving to go to war. You're going to kill people, aren't you? And he's like, to me, this was a heavy, do as I say, not as I do, parent to son conversation. And that's the reason why it didn't end up going well, at odds with each other at the end of that. And that's why he ends up running out of the house. Concludes this episode of Socially Anime. We hope that you enjoyed our breakdown of Vinland Saga Season 1, Episode 2, called Sword. If you liked this podcast and would like to hear more, go ahead, subscribe on YouTube and receive any updates as we post more in-depth analyses of your favorite anime. Make sure you hit and
hit
share.
Hit that like, hit that smash like button for us, hit the share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let us know in the comments what your guys' prediction is. Let us know how you're feeling about this episode overall and what you guys feel.
Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your day. Bye.
Onyx out.
Peace.